Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me here? First of all, welcome to EFCO Plastics. My name is Dale Evans. I'm president here. EFCO is a contract manufacturer that we specialize in plastic products. Most of what we make does not have our name on it. We make things for other people. So if there's a Sub-Zero that you buy, and I would encourage you to buy one nowadays, it usually has a product that we make. If it's a John Deere tractor, if it's a Mercury outboard, we make products for all those clients and do a lot of it. Most of what we make in this facility is exported out of the state of Wisconsin. We would like to have more clients in the state of Wisconsin that we can manufacture products for. But all of our buildings the last 10 years have been built outside of Wisconsin, and we're glad. I love the slogan that the Governor Walker's using, that we're open for business, because I really believe that's what we should do it. It's very appropriate for the times we're having right now, and I just like the change in attitude. So without further ado, I am honored to introduce our governor, Mr. Scott Walker.
Thank you, Dale. And just because you didn't think I'd go without it, I actually brought you a gift, a new bumper sticker that says Wisconsin's open for business as well. Now, before we get into the serious business, I got to have a little fun to begin with. You know, I brought something, I had a suggestion for what the governor of Illinois should wear when he comes up to Wisconsin to help us out with the food bag. But I don't care which jersey, I have a preference just because of the namesake, but whether it's Bart Starr or anybody else, we'll work it out so Governor Quinn can help us hand out some good food to make do with the bet. And Tom Colbert, the new governor of Pennsylvania, just came in about a week ago, and I will be talking this week to negotiate what the wager is between the great state of Wisconsin and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. But Dale, I want to thank you for having us, and thank you for your leadership not only here at the company but in helping us move forward. We were just talking about this on the way in with our jobs agenda. It is companies like yours that really are at the forefront of what we're doing and why we're doing it. When we think about making healthcare more affordable, I know you've heard from some of the employees here about one employee in particular who's grabbed access to healthcare as an option through HSAs. The idea that today with Act 1, which will be the first bill I signed into law, the first package that we signed as part of our jobs plan in this special session, that we're giving workers at companies like this and others across the state, whether it's at a company this size, whether it's somebody like Anthony Nudo, who's here from Kenosha, who's a realtor, and like plenty of other realtors and others who are self-employed, whether them or in your case you and your wife, looking for an option for health care beyond just traditional insurance and want to have access to an affordable health care option like HSAs, and being able to do it long after the federal government said you don't have to be taxed on it, now for Wisconsin to join the rest of America in saying we're not going to have an additional tax from the state on top of that, I think opens the door. For when we talk about Wisconsin being open for business, this is one of the many ways we're proving it's more than just a sign, it's more than just symbolism, it is substance in moving our state forward, and that's why I'm so thrilled to be here today. I too want to acknowledge, because this is not a new idea, this is an idea we're bringing to the forefront in the first days in office to show how serious we are. Not just how serious I am, not just how serious my administration is, and I've got a number of the folks in my administration here today that I want to thank as well, but in particular, we, meaning the legislature, this passed through the state Senate on a vote with 21 in favor, 66 in the state assembly in favor. You can do the math, that means a bipartisan vote, but I have a number of the leaders who are here today with us for years. You've got Senator Alberta Darling has been a leader in the state Senate along with Dean Crawford in the state assembly. I want to thank Senator Darling for being here and helping us and will be joining with me in the signing. I want to thank Luther Olson, who's been a key leader in the state Senate as well throughout the years, along with Representative Bob Ziegebauer, and then a new member of the state Senate who has been in the state assembly, Leah Vukmir, who's here. They combined have been great leaders, along with a person whose district we're in today, Representative Keith Ripp, who's here as well. We thank you for your leadership and support as well in being here today. These individuals, along with others like Jeff Stone and Bob Ziegebauer and Dean Crawford and others, have been leading the way for years when it comes to things like this HSA bill. And we're going to acknowledge not only now, but in the future, each and every time we move together in moving forward our agenda to send a clear message to the people of this state that Wisconsin is indeed open for business. We view our friends, our allies in the legislature, Republican and Democrat alike, as equal partners in helping us to move this forward, and that's why I'm so happy that you're here today. You know, for us, I was down last week, and many of you saw this along the state line, first along the Illinois state line, and then I went near Dubuque, and I went up to Hudson and Superior, and instead of putting up a new shingle that had the name of the new governor, we put up new signs that instead of my name said, "Open for Business." Open for business. And we're going to say that over and over again, but hopefully we're going to put the exclamation point not just on the message, not just on the signage, but on the impact it means for employers. Whether it's an individual, independent employer, whether it's a larger employer, whether it's a mid-sized employer, and anywhere in between, that everything we will do over the next 4 years will be about what does it do to help move this state forward when it comes to putting people to work again. What will this do to send a clear and positive and aggressive message that Wisconsin is indeed open for business? And so, again, I want to thank, we've had so many different groups here. We had the statewide Chamber of Commerce, Wisconsin Manufacturing and Commerce. We had NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Businesses. We had the Wisconsin Realtors Association and so many other groups stepping forward to send a message on behalf of their members, the men and women of this state who put people to work outside of government in private sector employment. These are the people who are going to help us create 250,000 jobs. These are the people I want to thank today and countless others who are helping us lead the way, and we really appreciate it. Before I sign that, I think in the interest of you being able to hear, if you've got questions, I'll take some questions, and then I'll ask the group of lawmakers and Dale to come over and join me as we actually sign the legislation into law as Act 1 of our special session package. But with that, I'll take questions. I should also acknowledge I've got our Commissioner of Insurance, Ted Nichols, who's here along with his deputy, and we're pleased to have you all here today. With that, I'll take some questions. It absolutely does. It helps both workers, and in many cases, as Representative Ripp knows, with a strong agricultural background, it helps family farmers as well. In the case of HSAs, giving one more tool to provide affordable health care, though, by making it more affordable for employees, it makes it easier for employers to offer that as an option. And in particular, for a lot of our businesses, be it realtors, insurance agents, others out there, for them to be able to have firms where then they can reinvest that money, save some of their dollars in terms of health care costs, and maybe as Anthony in the future, as he looks to grow, as we sell more property in the Kenosha area where he's from, not only can it be you and your wife, but it could be maybe another employee coming on, another employee after that, if they're able to help reduce health care costs as well as other costs when we help hold the line on property taxes. All of those things play into helping get an economy going again.
The criticism of this is when you stack up the actual dollars cost of many of the special session bills, like the tax credit for small businesses, the fiscal bureau says it's only like $90 to $300 actual savings or actually financial help for a business. So when you stack up this bill, that bill, some of the others, the actual help to small businesses really doesn't total that.
Well, it'll be a lot when you combine that. Remember, this is the first days in office. As the Associated Press did a story last week, before most governors, before most new lawmakers even unpack the boxes in their office, we've already moved forward on an aggressive legislative agenda, one of which we start the first of many bills being signed into law today. This is just our first step. This is not the final step for small businesses. In a week or two, we're going to have a budget adjustment bill or a budget correction bill. Not long after that, we're going to have a state budget bill, all of which every step we're going to take actions, whether it's in property taxes or other ways, to help businesses, particularly small business employers in this state, move forward. And I think collectively, by the time we get midway through 2011, people in adding that up will see that there are significant savings for employers. It's also part of it, too, it's heading in the right direction. While Illinois is heading the opposite direction, not only in terms of higher taxes on individuals and corporations, but in terms of failing to act to reform things like their pension system, we're moving forward not only lowering the cost when it comes to taxes, but regulation, litigation, cost in general, and health care cost, and moving it in a way that shows we can balance our budget without raising taxes. Those are all signs that I think will help employers move forward and say, we want to hire more people in the state, we want to invest more in this state. What's that? we're going to look at that, lay out some of the specifics that we're looking for in terms of the state address next Tuesday, and talk about what's going to be forthcoming in that regard. But for us, there's certainly, we'll be looking very closely at the numbers that come out probably by the end of the week or early next week from the Legislative Fiscal Bureau, as well as our own budget numbers, because we certainly have some ongoing concerns about the way things were left from the last administration. Pat? Again, we'll look at the numbers that Bob Lang and the company put out this week and compare them to where the state budget's office is at. But that'll probably be out at the latest on Monday, which I think will put our comments regarding the state of the state in context come Tuesday. Sure. Absolute transparency. In our case, while we looked at some of the things and they still produce jobs significantly in Indiana, we're going to make sure that not only for the public and for the media, in terms of transparency requirements, accountability, legislative audit bureau review, and ultimately open meetings and open disclosure laws being filed by this new corporation. But just for me personally and for my administration, we want ultimate accountability. We're only going to put dollars, whether it's through this new corporation or any other state agency, we're only going to put dollars where they have the maximum impact in terms of job creation. And so we want accountability just because I want results. The reason I'm acting so quickly, I was asked this last week, why move so quickly? When Scott wrote this story for Nationally, asked a good question, why move so quickly in this process? It's real simple. I had an interview for this job for the past 18 months with the people of the state of Wisconsin. And just like Dale, a CEO, if you were coming in, if one of your customers had a company that was in trouble and you were applying to be the CEO of that company, you'd come in with an action plan and you'd tell people what you were going to do, and then you wouldn't wait 6 months or a year. You'd start acting on it right away. That's what we're doing right now. We're acting on it right away. But we're going to learn from the lessons of other states and the lessons from the state of Wisconsin, and we're going to make sure we make this as accountable and aggressive as possible, because to me, the reason we're doing this is not for political points or anything else. I'm doing this to make an environment where we can create 250,000 more jobs in the private sector for the next 4 years. And the sooner we get going on that, the better it is to achieve that goal. Great.
That's a good thing I looked at. Yeah, that's a good idea. Pretty good, huh? I've done this for 8 years, so I'm pretty good. Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah. And back, one. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah. We got a few more for that. Thanks everybody for coming out.